junking the two impeachment complaints as insufficient in substance. Of course, we're referring to the De Jesus and Maza et al. Complaints. Congresswoman, does this already constitute a formal dismissal of the complaints?
The formal dismissal is actually incorporated in the resolution accompanying the committee report, no? So, ang sinasabi ng committee report is our findings that both complaints are insufficient in substance, okay? And because of this, we came up with a resolution dismissing actually the two impeachment complaints, no? Nevertheless, this committee report with its accompanying resolution are still subject to the approval/disapproval of the plenary. And that can be done by at least 1/3 votes of all the members of the House of Representatives.
Congresswoman, kailan po ito dadalhin sa plenaryo?
Well, actually, we have transmitted already to the Committee on Rules the committee report along with the resolution, no? Transmitted na siya today. As to when the same will be included in the order of business of the plenary, it all depends on the Committee on Rules. But we should be ready because anytime it may be included in the order of business.
I remember, please correct me if I'm wrong, is that really you had about 60 days under the rules or the Constitution to come up with a report. And certainly after what, was it 4 days of hearings? The last being Wednesday or Thursday, pasensya na po, ay nagkaroon na po kayo ng committee report. What I'm trying to say is, medyo mabilis po ito.
Well, it's because the entire process was not actually done in view of the prior determination of insufficiency in substance. Maalala mo, Pinky, I've been discussing it in our previous interviews, no? In different media, no? Dapat makalusot sa standard ng sufficiency in form at dapat makalusot sa standard ng sufficiency in substance for us to be able to move forward to step 3, 4, and 5. But what happened in the impeachment complaints against President Bongbong Marcos Jr., pasado siya sa form, that is our step 1, however, bumagsak siya sa sufficiency in substance. So, in effect, na-abrogate yung succeeding steps which are supposed to be part of our entire process before the Justice Committee, no? You are correct about the 60 session days. The Justice Committee is actually given under the rules a period of 60 session days to be able to conclude the deliberation, to determine the existence of probable cause, and to submit our committee report to the plenary. But then again, because bumagsak na sa test ng sufficiency in substance, we need not proceed to step 3, to step 4, and even to step 5. That's what happened, Pinky.
Congresswoman, there were appeals, last-minute appeals. Of course, there were some members of the House Justice Committee unhappy with the insufficiency in substance, especially of the Lisa et al. Impeachment complaint. It was Congressman Tino, I believe, and also Congressman Edgar Erice who had issued some last-minute appeals. Basically, Congressman Tino was saying that it was an incomplete discussion of what was being called the BBM parametrics, which form part of their impeachment complaint. Sabi nila, yun po ang naging daan ng substandard at mga ghost projects. Also, Congressman Erice basically saying that the Masa complaint also included an allegation supposedly from former Undersecretary Bernardo about an 8 billion peso supposed kickback for the president. Yun pong dalawang yon. What was the response to that, to those last-minute statements?
Well, Pinky, it is actually not expected that all the details will be included in the committee report, no? The committee report is supposed to reflect only the summary of what happened during the deliberation. As a matter of fact, nag-comment pa nga si Congressman Rodriguez, Chairman Rufus Rodriguez, that even the fact that the video of then Congressman Saldico, that the same was not authenticated, was not likewise included in the committee report. But nonetheless, in view of the fact that it is a committee report which is not supposed to include every detail of what happened in the deliberation, he is not questioning the sufficiency of the committee report, no? So, on that light, Pinky, no, we allowed the members specifically Honorable Tino and Honorable Erice and even Honorable Co, to make their corresponding manifestations to that effect. But nevertheless, those concerns which were raised have been fully ventilated during the deliberation on the sufficiency in substance. And if the point really is they want it to be incorporated in the committee report, well, it is the Justice Committee is reminded again that by practice, we do not incorporate every detail in the committee report. What is important, the impeachment complaint, which is supposed to include every and all arguments of the endorsers, form part of the records of our proceedings, no? So on that ground, Pinky, we proceeded to the voting of the motion for the approval of the committee report along with its accompanying resolution.
Okay. And I think the vote was 39, 4, and 0. 39 in
That
favor,
is correct.
4 against, and 0 abstentions. Just very quickly, just want to talk about the grounds for the impeachment: betrayal of public trust, culpable violation of the Constitution. Meron pong yung unang complaint also allowing the kidnapping and the surrender of FPRRD to The Hague, and of course that issue on being a drug user or alleged drug addict. And then, as I mentioned a while ago, which was quite new to a lot of people, yung tinatawag na baseline balance managed, yung BBM parametrics formula, na gaya nung sinabi ko kanina, Congresswoman, basically allowed these ghost, substandard, and overpriced flood management projects. With regards to that, I have a few questions on that. Yung statements ho ba, excuse me ma'am, of Yusek Bernardo, alleging that the Office of the Executive Secretary asking for insertions, yung pong supposed kickbacks given to Yusek, Trigib Olaivar, supposed kickbacks, and also Yusek or ASEC Bersamin. How did that come into play in terms of not finding it sufficient in substance?
Well, first and foremost, Pinky, we have to be reminded about the requirement of personal knowledge and or sufficient record, no? Ang ating complainant kay De Jesus, that is Attorney Andre De Jesus, apparently is not part of any of those incidents alleged in his impeachment complaint. So therefore, according to the members, personal knowledge cannot be claimed, no? With respect to the authentic records, it appears that most of the attachments, not only in the De Jesus complaint, but even in the Masa et al. Complaint, are clippings of news, videos, and transcripts which are not certified or authenticated. So, at least on this first ground, that the allegations of facts should be based on personal knowledge and or authentic records, nag-fail na kaagad itong dalawang impeachment complaints. Secondly, no, meron tayong tinatawag diyang ultimate facts instead of conclusion of facts. Dapat ang allegations sa complaint should be essential to constitute an offense which will further constitute a ground for impeachment. The parameter, Pinky, is it should be able to answer the questions what, when, where, how. Okay? So, on the basis of the allegations in both complaints, according to the members again, the allegations do not constitute ultimate facts or essential facts. Instead, it only jumps into conclusion of facts, which is not allowed in the impeachment complaint. No?
I'm very sorry, ma'am, I need to interrupt you there because I heard that a lot during the hearing, and it was also a question for me. Because one can also think that there was a difference. These words were being used all the time. Yung that is a legal conclusion and that is not a factual allegation. Yun po yung mga sinasabi, which is exactly what you're talking about right now. And then there's also that school of thought that ito po ay mga alegasyon. Kaya pag pumunta tayo sa paglilitis, ay doon lalabas ang mga factual allegations. But please explain to us, what is the difference and what constitutes a legal conclusion versus a factual allegation?
When we speak about factual allegation, Pinky, it should provide the specific details on how an offense was actually committed. As I have said earlier, it should be able to answer the questions like what,
when, where, how.
Where, how.
Okay.
So you will recall some of the members were asking, what is the specific offense that was committed by the impeachable official? When was this committed? Where was this committed? what was the circumstances surrounding that incident when the impeachable official committed actually this offense. So pag sinabi natin, pinking ultimate facts, it means essential to be able to constitute the offense as distinguished from conclusion, which means you just made a bare allegation that the impeachable official is guilty of graft and corruption without necessarily providing the specifics of the incidents which are being alleged.
I see. All right. And then there were also a lot of talks on ano ho ba, paano nyo nakuha ito, yung inyong mga ebidensya, not you, during the hearing. This constitutes, I'm sorry, ma'am, I have a bit of a cough. News clippings, yun po, another phrase that was used, versus authentic records. Also,
Yes.
Congresswoman, I know what news clippings are, but my question is, are news clippings going to be allowed, or can they serve as evidence to substantiate a ground for an impeachable offense?
Well, it is my humble submission that news clippings will not suffice the standard of authentic records, no? Kapag sinabi kasi nating authentic records yan, it should be certified by the person who actually prepared the document, okay? So, like for example, you were mentioning kanina about the affidavit or the statement of Yusek Bernardo of DPWH, no? The transcript of the Senate, if it is not certified, will not pass the standard of authenticity, all right? But if it is certified, it can only prove the fact that it is part of the records of the Senate. But as to whether or not that is indeed a testimony of Yusek Bernardo should be the one to authenticate the same. Or at least come up with his own affidavit to prove that this is my testimony, I am the one executing this, and I swear to the truthfulness of the facts of those contained in this affidavit.
To clarify before we go on a break, so any transcript, official transcripts coming from the Senate Blue Ribbon Committee, for example, regarding focusing on the allegations of former DPWH Undersecretary Bernardo, will not suffice unless it is what, certified by the Senate?
That is correct.
Opo,
That is
or
correct.
the man himself, the individual himself.
That is correct. Although you have to distinguish, if the transcript of records is certified by the Senate, then it is a proof that the transcript is part of the records of the Senate. Okay? But if the affidavit itself is authenticated or sworn in by Yusek Bernardo, then it becomes a proof of the testimony of Yusek Bernardo.
All right.